Okay, so I finally watched Thanksgiving from Eli Roth. Came out like a year ago, and I figured I'd watch it because Thanksgiving's coming up. So interesting concept. There's not many Thanksgiving horror movies. There's a couple that I've never seen that are kind of low budget, but yeah, Eli Roth is the director. I don't know, he's pretty hit or miss for me. Man, he just directed Borderlands. That was him. Wow, that was a huge flop. But I did like his Death Wish. I actually like that, and I like the original too. I like the whole series. So Bruce Willis, I liked his Death Wish. I like the original Cabin Fever. Now Hostel, not crazy about. I don't know, I watched Knock Knock years ago. I thought it was okay with Keanu. And I haven't seen a lot of his other stuff, but this I thought was okay. It had some good kills in it. I'll give it that. So as like a slasher, it has its moments. It's not very long. I overall did enjoy it. I'd say a negative though is I don't think you care about any of the characters. Like, especially some of them are pretty unlikable. And that's the point, but like Rick Hoffman and his wife, they're totally unlikable. You can't really guess who the killer is. At least I didn't see many hints towards it. The main the main girl is Nell Verliquez. I mean, she's okay. I guess she's the most likable person in the movie. I mean, she's pretty much the star. But I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't think she's very likable. And throughout the movie, I thought she was the girl in Scream 5 and 6, but she's not. She's a different girl. She just looks the same as her. I mean, the thing is, a lot of these actresses, like a lot of them just look almost the same to me. And I don't know, I thought I was like, wow, she looks just like her. So that was interesting. I don't know, a lot of these actresses, a lot of them just look similar to me. So yeah, maybe it's just a look Hollywood's going for, but she's okay. She did a fine job, her acting. But yeah, just a lot of the characters aren't that likable. There's a lot of, like, few of them are like, kind of like jocks, and they're kind of, douchebags, and yeah, so for me, I was just kind of waiting for some of them, like, wonder how they're gonna die, because it's a slasher movie. I like the outfit of the killer. I mean, it's at least different. And basically the plot is it's actually Thanksgiving Day, and there's this retail store, and the owner of it is Hoffman, guy with a giant mustache, and he wants to make money on that day, so he doesn't give everyone the day off, and he has minimal security. One of the security guards is Tim Dillon. I was like, and yes, he does get killed pretty early on in the movie, so it's nice to see him in the movie, and I like Tim Dillon. I watch his podcast sometimes, but he's in it for a little bit. He's a security guard. There's only two, and he goes cheap on security, and there's people storm the building, because one of the guy grabs a microphone and says the store's open, even though they're not going to open for another 10 minutes. They let people in the back that were friends, so people cut and people got angry. So they storm it, they break down the door, and they kill one of the security guards. Tim Dillon, he's like, forget this. He runs away, which I don't really blame the guy. Like, he gets blamed for that from the killer, and like he has this wall where he has their pictures and he writes their sins basically, and his is like coward. Does it say greedy? No, I think that was Hoffman. So I don't know. I was like, really? Like, he gets paid not much money. What do you expect the guy to do? He's one guy. What is he gonna stop the crowd? I mean, you're gonna get killed, and the other security guard gets killed. And of course, yeah, I don't know if this is on purpose, but it was just like a joke because like the guy's black and he's like the first one to die in the movie. So I was like, okay, that's on the nose because that's like a joke in horror movies. But the guy gets crushed to death, pretty brutal death. No one seems to care that they're murdering people, which I don't know. Apparently has happened in some Black Friday riots, or they're stampeded to death, I guess is the word. And multiple people die. Gina Gershon is there. She's bringing, I think it's her husband who works there, like some dinner, because he wasn't able to eat Thanksgiving dinner because his boss made him work. She ends up getting killed. A pretty brutal death. She gets crushed by a cart, and of course people don't seem to notice that they're killing her, and then her hair gets wrapped up in one of the wheels and it pulls off part of her skull, and pretty brutal. So this movie's definitely got some good kills. I'll give it that. And not in a, I don't know, like, I'm not into the Hostel movies. It just seems like horror porn kind of. It's just I don't think it's in good taste. But in this is more of the classic slasher kind of horror, which I'm more into. So yes, so she gets killed. The lead actress has a boyfriend, Bobby. He's like a all-star football player. He ends up snapping his arm, so it kind of messes up his career. And one of the guys there is live streaming it and kind of being a douchebag. And he's also like a football star, and he's on the list because of that. One of the ladies is on the list because she kills Gina Gershon. And there's some other people on it, and then it cuts to black, and it's like a year later, and then the movie basically starts. But I did enjoy the movie. Patrick Dempsey's the sheriff. I was watching the review that said Michael Biehn was going to be the sheriff, and then he dropped out. Kind of wish that was the case, but oh well. I mean, Patrick Dempsey's okay. And he's wearing this mask, and it's the face of, I think it's the first mayor of the town. I think is it like New Plymouth or something? Terrorizes Plymouth. Oh, it's in Massachusetts. Okay, I thought it was in Rhode Island. Okay, Plymouth, Massachusetts. The birthplace of the holiday. So people are all wearing these masks because they have a parade, and a lot of people are dressed up as, the old pilgrim look. And this is what the killer wears. So then this sets up the rest of the movie. So overall, I think it's okay. It's not going to be in my top 10 slashers. It's, maybe I'll rewatch it at some point, but thought it was all right. It says an hour, 46 minutes. I think that's with the credits. So it's really like an hour 40. I think the times the pacing's fine. I think Eli Roth does a fine job directing it. I know some people have complained that the infamous scene, because this is all based on a fake trailer, and in the trailer there's a girl jumping on a trampoline and they have this knife, and they're kind of disappointed with that scene, but I don't know, her death was pretty brutal. So and he kills a lot. He kills like maybe 8-9 people. So there's a good body count. So yeah, I mean, it's a solid slasher. I'd recommend it, but I'll get into spoilers now. So he has this list. You're trying to figure out who is the guy, and that's a negative I have of the movie, because there's not any hints really. I mean, you could say there is one, but I don't think it's much of a hint at all. And I'll just say who it is. Spoilers now. It's Patrick Dempsey. The sheriff is the killer. And there's no hints about it really. Just that in the beginning, he goes to Gina Gershon and her husband's house for Thanksgiving dinner. And there's other people there though, and he's having an affair with Gina Gershon, but this isn't shown to the very end of the movie. She's pregnant with his baby. He says she's gonna leave her husband, the guy that works at the store. And throughout the movie, you think maybe it's the husband, because then later he kind of becomes like an activist, protesting the store and, saying you should have had more security. And also the store has security cameras, of course, and then all of them go missing. They're like, oh, it wasn't working that night. So, kind of like Epstein or something. But yeah, so, and in the beginning, he shows up to the house and he says he baked this cake. And then she's like, oh, all the single ladies will, want you because you're a sheriff and you can bake. I think she says. And it's like, is that a hint? Like, it's pretty weak of a hint. Like, that's a negative. Like, I think you should have some hints about who it is. It's kind of like doing like the Scream thing where it's like, oh, is it this person? Is it this person? Later in the movie, she thinks it's Bobby because he drugged Bobby and he was knocked out, and then he put the outfit on him, and she saw that he took the outfit off. But then it's soon after you realize it's Patrick Dempsey. But there's some good kills, like when he kills the lady that works at the restaurant. I thought that one was pretty good, and he smashes her face against an ice wall and like rips off part of her face, and that one's pretty brutal, but her death is kind of ridiculous because she gets chopped in half. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. There's no way that would happen. It's so Hoffman's wife, the guy who owns the store. So I understand why he's pissed at him, Not really his wife's fault, but she's kind of like a money-grubbing gold digger. And, the star of the movie is Hoffman's daughter. It's her stepmother, and she doesn't like her at all. She doesn't seem very likable. But that's the thing. Almost none of them are very likable, So you don't really care when they die. Tim Dillon... that was I like that. I like that he was in it, and he's gonna get out of town. He's like, I'm going to the Caribbean, but of course, he's on the list, which I don't really get why, because he's just a lowly security guard and he runs away. It's not his fault. There was only 2 of them, but he gets killed. He gets his head cut off. And then at one point, he kidnaps a bunch of the people. He puts them down on a table. He cooks the guy's wife, which was pretty brutal. Puts her like in a pizza oven, basically. He bastes her with butter. and she kind of tries to escape, but of course she doesn't get away. Let's see. I don't even remember their name. Jessica Wright is the character's name for the star. And I'm sorry, she looks just like the girl in Scream. Like, I'm sorry, she looks just like her. I think she's a better actress than her, though. Mitch Collins. Ty Olson is the guy who works at the store, who's Gina Gershon's wife. She was cheating on him. And then there's a few other characters that are friends of Jessica Wright. Yeah, Thomas Wright, Rick Hoffman is the owner of the store. Oh, he was in Suits. Okay. I was like, what is he in? He's in Hostel. He's a weird looking guy. The giant mustache. Very unlikable. I did like when he's at the table, he starts throwing up, but he has like a thing tied around his mouth. Thought that was a pretty good scene. All of that, the last act's really good. I'll give the movie that. The last act's really good. It's well shot too. I think it's got a good look to it. So, but it's pretty obvious, you know. It's like, you know, these people are gonna go down. He doesn't get killed, his wife does. I kind of expected him to get killed though, but I'd say the highlight of the movie is just the kills and the way that they're killed. Oh yeah, one girl whose father's Russian and they're gonna get out of town. They're gonna go to Florida. He catches up with her because she was part of the riot that took place, and you know, I forget exactly. That's the thing, you kind of forget exactly what they did in the riot that was so egregious, but she gets thrown onto a table saw. It cuts her in half, and then you're just kind of trying to guess who it is throughout, but like I said, there's really no hints that it's Patrick Dempsey. So that's definitely a negative I have. I mean, you got to have a little bit more of hints who it is than the one that they had. Because they show at the end, oh, when he showed up, she was flirting with him. Not really. Barely. So, oh, Eli Roth gave directing duties to Tim Miller to do additional reshoots for Borderlands, so Roth could focus on this film. Oh, man, Tim Miller. I mean, he did direct Deadpool 1, which I like that movie, but he directed Dark Fate. Ugh. Terminator. Eli Roth cites that if he were to only make one other movie, this film would be as his magnum opus. I guess. I think Cabin Fever is his best movie he's directed. The third Grindhouse fake trailer to be adapted into a later feature film, following Robert Rodriguez' Machete and Hobo with a Shotgun. If you could smash that like button, that'd be great. It really helps the channel. Like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, I'm kind of looking through the trivia. As according to the filmmaker Eli Roth, the film was advertised per fake trailer in Grindhouse, and he's friends with Tarantino, so they've been friends for a long time. Was about a kid who's in love with a turkey, and when his father killed it, then he killed his family and went away to a mental institution and came back and took revenge in the town. Well, that's not the plot in this. Eli Roth was in the process of casting the movie when his friend Gina Gershon texted him and asked, "When are you going to put me in a horror movie?" And Roth responded, "Actually, Gina, I have a part for you right now." Eli Roth wanted all the film's kills to be to be not only gory but creative, playing homage to the creative kills of the golden age slasher films from Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Happy Birthday to Me, and My Bloody Valentine. Eli Roth said the cat in the movie was such a good actor and performed on cue. He called him DiCaprio. The name of the cat is Tonic, and he previously starred in Pet Sematary 2019. Okay. Eli Roth stated that unlike the fake trailer that had co-writer Jeff Rendell portraying the killer the whole time, he intentionally used multiple actors behind the mask to not make the give away the identity. But yeah, I think it's about it though. It's a solid slasher movie. I didn't think it was amazing, but I'd recommend it for horror fans. So, but Thanksgiving, Eli Roth. See you next time. Everyone have a good Thanksgiving.